Hey there, guys. TC Made with TC Gaming. Hopefully everybody had a great holiday break, and we're going to get back into a couple videos on our series here. So this first one, I want to clean some stuff up that we did last time. I was working on a level manager and a wave manager, so that as we complete each of our levels, we go on to or as we complete each of our waves, rather, we go into a different level. When all the levels are finished, the game's over. So we want to get all that working. I still have a couple things to clean up with as far as when the game is actually over. If you want to restart it, or if you want to figure out if we want to keep logic in there to basically when we restart the game that we would be restarting from the last saved point. Obviously, things like that. That's not in here because this was always a one level game. But what I wanted to clean up with you real quick is if you go back into your blueprints folder, you should see the BP game instance and the BP game mode. We're going to open these up real quick, and I'm going to show you something that we need to fix. So in the version we worked on last time in BP game mode, I had a value here for current level to get the current level of whatever this is iterated through. But what happens is the instance change happens. I'm sorry, when you switch over to a new level, you load the next level, it unloads the level you were in, and it takes some of the saved variables with it. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that that level is that level value, current level, is persistent. And the way that we can make it persistent is to actually put it in the game instance. So what I did is I created a current level value in the game instance. You want to create that as a type of integer because we're just counting 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. So current level integer, and you want to set the default value of this to 1, so that when the first time it loads up, it's going to look for level 1, which we have our map level 1, and then our current wave level. So over here in the BP game mode, what we'll do is when we start our new waves, we're going to cast out to that BP game instance. So in order to do that, you just right click and you say cast to BP underscore game instance. And what it would do is it would give you this same node here. And then as the game node instance, you're going to want to pull off of here and just say get current level. And that's going to give you the value that has been stored in there. And when you go to compile that, it's going to tell you that it fails because you don't have an object plugged in. So the object of this is to get the game instance. And what we want to do is take the output of that current level value, switch it into a string append so we can put that level underscore whatever the number is, and then underscore waves on it. So this would be level underscore 1 underscore waves, so on and so forth. And we're going to pass that value on. And then what we also want to do is coming out of here at the back end, when we go to iterate this, we want to set the current level, and the current level has to be plugged into here because we want to know what the current level is to increment it by this integer value that we had out here. So we're basically just changing a couple of little things here, these two little values, and then plug it in a variable over here with the default value on it. Okay, and what that's going to do for us now, if you remember, when we go back through these, we had a couple of structures in here that we're going to be setting up our spawn groups and our waves and everything. So let's go to where this lives. We're going to show this in folder view. And in the folder view here, you see that we had level 1 waves, level 2 waves, level 3 waves, and then we had a levels data table and a level wave data table. The levels data table told us what the name of the map was as we switched from level to level. So in the case of level 1, it goes to Action RPG P, which is persistent. Level 2 map goes to Polygon Dungeon. So as the levels increment, we go from level 1, we go through all the waves in level 1. Well, the level 1 waves are here. So in this case, we only have one wave at level 1. When we get to level 2, our level 2 waves actually have a level 1 wave and a level 2 wave, but the level 1 wave is going to be 2 goblins of level 1 and a goblin of level 2 and another goblin of level 1, and then 2 more goblins of level 2 and a level 1. And these wave times, I don't know if this is getting reset when we came through here. We'll have to check, but normally as you kill each thing, the souls counter goes up and it gives you new waves on here. I'm going to set this to 120, and I'll set this one to set this to 120 also, just to make sure we have plenty of time. And if that's not getting reset in there, then we'll have to put a thing in there to get the current wave level out of there also. But again, as we go through the levels, that's going to happen there. And then in our level wave data table, what this is a relationship between what level wave has what level wave data table. So when we get to level 1 waves, we want to look at the level 1 waves data table, which is the thing we were just in. That's going to tell us what the structure of the wave counts are. So we can see this in action now, pretty easy, because what we're going to do is go into this, start this up, and we're going to go through it. And I'm just going to show you real quick this little update, and then we're going to call this video quits for now, so you guys can get caught up to that. And then I'm going to be putting out more videos this week. So Action RPG. To start this the right way with our level incrementation to work, we want to go out here to Action RPG main first, and we're going to start it from here. And then this will give us the right count coming through. So we'll start out here. All right, we're going to come in and say, start the game. And we'll just skip our intro. We'll come out here. Got our guy. And there's our first spawn. So this is a spawn of 1 enemy. We're going to kill him. Then it spawns to 2 guys. And our last spawn in here should be 2 guys, but one of them's a little tougher than the other one, I think. Or actually, is it? Yeah, these guys are the same. And then maybe there's one more tough guy or something. Maybe it's just those 3. Okay, so wave 1's complete. This should now take us to our level 2 map. Alright, so teleported us over. I should turn the facing of that. And then it's going to spawn these guys. Now, you can see barely in the left-hand corner where it says level 2 waves has been pulled up. So this is working now, and I don't have a nav mesh in here for these guys to be able to walk around. So right now they're just going to stand still, which is great because it's easier to kill them to show you what I'm trying to show you here. So we kill both of these guys. The next group gets spawned. You can see that's a bigger guy. See how he had the spikes on his back? That's a different class of goblin. And same thing here. We're going to kill this guy. Now, if I put a nav mesh bounds in here, these guys would come after us. And that is the end of wave 1. Now we'll go to wave 2. Wave 2. Spawn some guys. Again, these are bigger guys. Larger groups of bigger people. Of bigger enemies. Which is how you would want to do this as you go through it. You're just going to keep getting bigger waves and tougher things. Now, the other thing I want to talk about in here while I'm beating this real quick to show you that this all works, hopefully, is that we want to also think about how many times we're spawning these guys and how many times we're killing them. And what we really probably want to do is we probably want to come up with a way to manage these guys as objects that can be created and destroyed without having this like where they get created and destroyed as an actual character. What you can do is you can create a thing called an object pool, and in the object pool, you can put these classes of characters in there, and you can load them up when the level loads. Right? You stick them kind of like off screen, and then what you do is, let me beat these guys real quick. What you do is you load them off screen, set how many's in the pool. So like maybe for each of these guys, the max I'd ever have on screen would be like say 3 or 4 of one type. So I can put like 5 or 6 of them in the pool. Alright, so that wave ended. I don't have a level 3 to go to, so it comes up and tells me my game's over. And from here I can go to the main menu. If I hit play again right now, it's going to pull this back up, but it's not going to actually spawn the groups and reset everything because we haven't set it up that way. And I don't think I can get the main menu from here. It's basically going to deadlock it there. So anyway, we got that first part working, which is to get the wave and level spawner to work. The rest of it will hook up in the next video where we'll get it to actually restart the game and purge those values and take us back to the beginning, or we can continue or try again from our current level. So at least that's all working. What I was saying though about this thing is you can create a thing called an object pool, and in your object pool you can tell it how many of each object to stick in the pool at runtime, and it'll stick those in there. And then what you do is instead of destroying the objects and spawning them again, what you actually do is you kill them, you make them basically invisible, and you stick them back in the pool. And then when you go to recall them again, you're basically turning them back to visible and resetting their stats and everything. That way you don't have this heavy duty load, which you can see a second ago when I spawned that first iteration of groups in that new map. It kind of chunked it down for a second. So what we would do with our asynchronous loading that we're going to be putting in here pretty soon, we take the asynchronous loader and we use it to load that in a separate thread, get all those guys in the background, put them in the pool, and then as we kill them again, we're making them active or inactive, taking them out of the pool, putting them back in the pool. And at the end of whenever we're done with that group for good, then we can go ahead and destroy all those actors and everything. The reason you don't want to really do it the way this is doing it per se is because if you're doing constant loading and unloading of things like spawning them and destroying them and spawning them and destroying them, you're getting a big chunk on memory, and also you could end up with some issues where the allocation of memory that's getting purged could end up getting a little bit of a corruption in it or a leak or whatever because of the way that you're adding and removing values constantly. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a very soon video. What I want to get is my goal here is to get the mechanical kind of stuff out of the way, and then that way, if somebody wants to just take off and go do whatever they're doing, they have a framework where they can actually start building levels and what spawns are in there and things like that. Once we get the core stuff working, we're going to go right to how to create a new enemy, and then some people have asked for some other things that they were on my list anyway, some of them, and we'll go through all that kind of stuff and make sure we're hitting all the questions that people have out there in the on the channel. So if you guys have questions, you got feedback, you got something you want to see in here, let me know. Again, my name's TC Made with TC Gaming, and hopefully you guys had a great holiday, and we'll be back with some more videos real soon. You guys take care of yourselves, stay safe.